Hey everyone, it's Wade here. Welcome to another episode of NBA TopShot Hour. Hope you're doing well. It's the 20th of Feb 2021. It's just before midnight, as per usual. Should be called the Midnight Hour. Bitcoin is at 57,300. Ethereum is just cracked 2034. And we, on the TopShot side, have done a roaring trade in the last 24 hours, nearly 19 million. So this has just exceeded, all our expectations for this last couple of days. On Twitter, we were joking around, 12 million, 15. Obviously, it's done a lot more than that. So the next stop looks like to be probably 25 by the looks of it. And, just a quick note on that. Obviously, you guys know, most of you know what's happened in the last couple of days and all the media attention this game has received. But more so on the volume, if you look to the right hand side, for the ones you can't see, it's the top collectible sales of the last 24 hours. There really isn't any, there's a few NBA TopShot sales there, bottom 3 or 4, it's about the 50 grand mark. So, when you look at it that way, to transact $19 million worth of TopShot moments and not to really dominate that leaderboard speaks volumes, because, and literally speaks volumes. What it really means is this volume is, for me anyway, it's becoming not more legitimate, it's probably the wrong word, but it is more of that everyday trader. It's not the big boys, moving $200,000 moments, and that sort of accounts for 15% of the total daily volume. It's not. So as you can see there's only a handful of them, and total up to a couple of 100,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So and they total to about 260,000 out of 19 mil. I'm sure there's obviously moments that have sold in the $20,000-$30,000 range, but for it to transact 19 million, for us not to dominate the top 10 positions speaks, like I said, volumes for the legitimacy of this volume. And that is being the bottom and the middle sort of tier traders, obviously doing what they do, just buying up all the season 2 moments and I'm just churning that volume into more profit and so forth. So 24 hours, just skip on straight to the all-time. It's cracked 100 and then some. It's 111 now. So like I said, today being Sunday morning, just about. That'll be Saturday for you guys, I think. Or either that or Friday. Which means it's the weekend. So I'm expecting this thing, unless it's shut down for part of the day today, it'll crack 20 mil in terms of volume. So yeah, that's incredible. I've said it many times on Twitter, 50 mil with some improvement to the platform is possible. I mentioned adding some trading tools. Obviously that's as an optional, something that essentially what you guys see here on this Evaluate Market website, where you've just got a couple of bells and whistles, and you've got the chart, the charts, and just so you can visually tell where the price action has been. And that's something we'll just go over quickly with respect to a couple of the players using that platform, which I only found out a couple of days ago. It's quite cool, and it's got some nifty little features there. So look, volume is looking great. It's looking legitimate more and more by the day, just because there is now that larger player base to support that volume. So again, it's not your big boys trading, and it's that's that sort of volatile volume. This is more of your, if you did a transaction per buyer or something, you'd find it's probably a good amount per trader, or per investor, or whatever you want to refer to them as. So I'm really happy to see that the more volume we can push through and sustain these prices, just like in the stock trading market, the more legitimate it becomes, because what that tells you is that, okay, well there's this 22,000 investors or buyers, whatever we want to call them, and if they're transacting this volume time and time and time again, and the price is sticking, it means that both parties agree to that volume, and that's when you find the share price, or in this case the moment price, start to put a solid base under that particular price. So, and that's what we need. We don't really want to see massive spikes in price. Well, we want to see nice growth. What we've seen over the last couple of days has just been, I've literally lost for words. I don't even want to say. Off the charts, ridiculous, stupid, whatever you want to call it. It's been fantastic. It's been on the back of a lot of press, a lot of different people, and I'll talk a little bit about that shortly. So I did have a couple of things I wanted to run through with you guys, just on the other screen. So, yeah, I think 25 mil is the next target, and then onwards and upwards from there. So, in terms of how we've got to here, as you look at some Jacob Pirtle, I think is how you pronounce it, highlights. One of the members on Twitter asked why I bought a moment, so I'll just cover off on that. So let's bring up something a bit more exciting. So in terms of the growth, we that have been here for a little while now, and I mean basically weeks, the initial uplift came from the Bales purchase, which brought in the DFS players. Then after that, I think the crypto guys came in. There was certainly talk on Twitter, and that's basically where I get most of my research and intel from. The crypto guys did sniff around. I do believe they came in. They're probably generally a bit more incognito than some of the DFS guys or NFT guys. And NFT guys just like to spruik a lot, as you can see. We all talk a little bit of mess on Twitter and rile each other up and so forth. So it's a whole bunch of fun. For us, the NFT community, it's quite small, so we know most of each other until probably the last couple of weeks. It's grown exponentially, and it's been quite fun too. So DFS guys, crypto guys, I think are sniffing around. They've come in as well, and then you saw the business people like Mark Cuban and recently Gary V. He came out and confirmed that he's been also, maybe not in the game, but he's known about the game, and now he's certainly really high on NFTs. And you guys would have seen some of those if you haven't had a chance to look at it. Some of the NBC or one of the large networks interviewed him, and he basically said the NFT space is what he was basically born to do. It meets everything. You've got the price action, the volume. I forgot exactly what he said. Ease of trade and stuff like that. So again, that's exactly what I've said time and time again. This is the perfect space for that. You don't necessarily have to be an NBA fan to appreciate what this thing's capable of, i.e. it's essentially a stock market, but 10 times probably more fun. Also, the reason for that too is because everyone's making money. Now, this really isn't a genuine stock market per se, because it doesn't have that bid offer fundamental aspect of a share market price mechanism, because the thing's just going up. Like there is no way you can short this stock. There is no way I can short this Jacob Pirtle moment from $55 down to $30. It's just right, that's not possible. So I'd eventually like to see that. I did suggest an idea on Twitter, and had a few comments and likes. So basically, like a hidden buy parameter. So for example, if I want to buy this Jacob Pirtle moment, and I want to buy between, say, serial 1 to 99, and I want to pay upwards of, I don't know, say $150. So that's basically my parameter. That's it. So I've opened it to those serial numbers, and I want to pay up to $150. So if someone goes and lists, number 23 for $150, then it'll execute. It'll buy that for me. But those buy parameters will not be shown. It'll be like in the back end. So I think that might avoid some maybe market manipulation. Again, these are sort of things I didn't really think through. I just literally saw the comment from Raham, just posted what first thing that came in my head. Obviously, it's some sort of a bid offer system, but so I think that could work to a degree. I think it's better than what we got at the moment because it's just not pricing these things. It's not, because it's just going up. People are just buying it. Look at what's happening with season 2. It's the easiest way to make money in the world right now. It's just buy stuff, because the anticipation is that more players will come in, and that's what happens. We've now proved that. It'll keep happening. So all you got to do is just keep buying stuff. Just, you can't really go wrong. Buy the stuff that you think will have the most whatever for you. So that's something I'll think maybe I'll cover off, because there was a question actually on Twitter that asked, what would you buy for you, whatever. So we'll leave that to that. So, on that stages of growth, we saw the business people coming in, and obviously that was huge. Gary V, acknowledging the space, and there was a couple of YouTubers that I saw sniffing around too. So, wow. So the next, and I also did get a tweet back or an answer from Gary V. That was pretty exciting. So I respect that, and hopefully we can see him around. Now, the next stage of growth is this NBA player recognition. So we saw today, and Josh Hart came in and started talking on Twitter, and he's going to host a stream and this and that pack opening. It set parts of the market, absolutely on fire. So he mentioned, and I responded back about his question, where are my early adopter moments? I want them back, or I want to buy them, or something like that. So when I sent that message, I didn't actually realize what had happened. It was probably like 3 or 4 in the morning, maybe even a bit later than that, 5 maybe. I was up in the morning, and he let's find something else to watch while I ramble on. And he said something like, I had no idea, but I thought to myself, because it's quite early, I thought, this would probably send these moments sky high. And I look, they're like trading over $1,000. And that it sent that whole EA set from, respectively next to nothing. I mean, when I was buying them for $4 a moment, they were next to nothing. They went to maybe 80 to 100 and whatever, depending on the player. And now they're like trading at $1,000 each. So keep that in mind, because that is the next stage of growth. So it takes a little bit of research, in my opinion. But now you've got to start piecing these puzzles together. If you really want to make that, not necessarily, you'll make that growth naturally as the platform grows and you buy your next wave that gets printed tomorrow, minted, or whatever it is, next pack release, another version of Luka or LeBron James or whatever it is that's now to 25,000 or 30,000 or 50,000. You might be able to pick up those moments for $4 each, a LeBron moment, or $5 each, and then they will go to 50 eventually. It's just because, like I said, the platform growth. But now's the time, and this will become more and more evident as there is more volume in the market, and the player growth starts to slow down. Maybe it won't, but it's a funny dynamic. I think we'll get to at some point in time, this will have to slow down. Otherwise, the numbers is going to get out of control, and the team will have to do something to try and manage that. But coming back to this, next phase of growth, it's the NBA player, and I believe that will then segue into that becoming more mainstream, because who's following Josh Hart? Who's following Larry Nance? Who's following well, basically, this is your homework now, to find out who these guys interact with online and who their friends are. We know Josh Hart plays a lot of, I think it's Call of Duty and all that sort of stuff online. So basically, just have a look online, who he likes, who he talks to. There's a good chance they'll all talk to each other at some point in time, and they'll talk about their moments, because you saw Larry Nance, his response was like, I don't know what these things are. But if you're an NBA player, why wouldn't you want a collection of your own stuff? Like, it's literally better than basketball cards. You can just log in online and check out your own stuff, and there's a mint number, and it's valued, and you can check out, because most NBA players have egos, like we all do. Twitter egos, whatever. But and why wouldn't they want to see what they're valued at? Because other than your contract value or points per game, whatever it is, this is another way to see what your fans really think of you, sort of thing. So I think they're going to get intrigued. So your basically homework is try and figure out who are these guys that are connected to Josh Hart, and some of the guys that are going to be coming out of the woodwork and going, well, I want my own moments. I want to start my collection. So, you've probably got a little bit of time, maybe a couple of days to a week, to figure some of these things out and then place your bets accordingly, right? So, there's a couple of there. I mentioned Larry Nance. I know Devin Booker plays a lot of games and stuff like that. So whether he's connected to Josh Hart, we'll find out. They'll all find out soon enough. So it's just a matter of jumping the gun and doing a bit of research and, just placing a smart bet. You can't fuck it up really, because that growth, even if you placed a bet on the wrong player, so to speak, you're going to get that growth anyway. You just might not get the growth that LeBron printed to 30,000 might bring eventually. But if you do hit it right, like these Josh Hart moments of trading for next to nothing, again, in some sort of comparison, they were, because let's have a quick look. So just gonna look at the EA sets. I know a lot of people probably don't know. Let's look at the base Series 1 set moment. Now it's hard to tell because this is captured the $2,000 moment, so maybe there's a way. I haven't used this too often now. Oh, no, it's going to bugger it up. But you can see, yeah, there we go. That's a little bit better. So you can see up until today, his cluster of sales was around that $24 mark, 22, high mints, 3,000 odd. And then obviously something happened. We know what happened. He came out of the woodwork. So, and his moment price went, so his base moment, peaked at around 220 for some of those, mid-range to high 3,400. Yeah. So basically did almost 10x, which is, we're used to this. We're used to 1,000% returns and so forth on a daily basis. But this late stage in the market, especially for Series 1, it's not normal, clearly. And you can see they've started to retreat back as well. So you're going to get that. So keep that in mind. If you do see players come out of the woodwork and it sends their moments up 10x, try to offload some of those at the peak. I mean, it's hard to do that. What's the peak? But they will come down. It's just how markets work. You're going to get people acting stupid and buying these things for $1,000, $1,200. I sold probably about 10 to 12 of them today, varying ranges from 800 to probably 1,100. I don't really know. I just kept selling into demand. So actually, let's have a quick look at what the early adopters are going for. I just want to rush through some of this. You can see, the growth has just been absolutely unbelievable. So before the spike, they were trading at anywhere between $80 to $105, $110, and then you could just see they just went vertical. So mint of it. So these go to $13.25, and you can see mint $12.86, $1,170. And you can see slowly coming back down, and some are trading about $600 now. Last sale was $500, mint $766. So good days for a few sellers there. I was definitely selling some of those at the peak, because I remember I pulled in some at 800 and some all the way up the top. So keep that in mind. This market is absolutely dumb, collectively. So we're all fall part of it, and we can literally all call each other dumb because we've done some really dumb things. But collectively, you don't do this sort of stuff, really. Think about it for a second. What's the play here, all right? You don't own the EA moment. Josh Hart comes in and starts, spruiking TopShot and how much he loves it. Okay, you go out and buy one. You're paying $1,000 for something that was literally $100 hours ago. Fine. What's the play from there? Like, are you expecting Josh Hart to buy that for $10,000? Think about it for a sec. This does not make sense. There's no rationale behind your action there. Maybe buy it for $200, $300 and max, and then expect something out of that. But to pay 10x for that, where is that thing going to go? Maybe it'll go more tomorrow or the day after. But again, like, if he's staying around, there's a lot of other moments that that he can buy. Maybe the top 100 he'll pay a couple of grand for, but he probably even maybe thinks he should be given some for free. So I think it's one of those strategies where you should use that strategy to profit from on the way up, and then just dump it, basically. So yeah, I think the main key point there that I really wanted to bring across was that these players are going to start coming in. Figure out who he's connected to, and place your bets accordingly, because you're potentially looking at a 10x return. Minimum, you're looking at 2 to 4x return. For some of the guys that literally tweet back to him and go, "Oh, this shit's awesome, how do I get into this?" You're just going to see those moments go through the roof. Now, I wanted to go through a couple other ones that I've been really picking up quite a few off, and that's just guys that are connected to the TopShot community already. So JaVale McKee, I've got his last name, Aaron Gordon, a couple other guys that are invested already in the game, like literally they own part of Dapper Labs. So if you guys don't know who that is, maybe I'll talk about it next time. Let me know on Twitter. I'll send you the names. It's really easy to Google the articles. There's about 5 or 6 that we know of. So I started doing that through today. I basically sold a Josh Hart moment for $1,000, and I went and bought Aaron Gordon for $50. So his base moment, and you can see a few people probably did something similar. Because at the end of the day, like I said, again, I say that these guys do have egos, and when they see Josh Hart jumping on this and getting half the world excited, they'll jump back, they'll jump in, they'll want a piece of the action. They want to be known as much as Josh Hart, and sort of in that respect. So you could see what is going on with these moments. So what do they go from? 30, 40, $50, and then today, so I bought a whole bunch of there around that price, and I've stopped buying, not because, wow, they've really gone up. The season 1 base for Aaron Gordon, not because I'm some genius and I stopped buying at $50, $60 odd. We just went out tonight, Saturday night, so that was it basically. So I will stop. I'll probably start selling these now. But yeah, so there's a lot of little things you can do. Just think outside the box. Think where the smart money is going, or potentially will go. It takes a little bit of research, but I think it's profitable. Okay, so quick review on the Holo set. I'm trying to speed through this because there's a lot of crap to talk about. So this, I have finally put the set together. There's a lot of numbers here, and the guys that are on the podcast, which doesn't exist. Excuse me. The column to the right, to the far left-hand side, is my cost for these moments, and in total, I've paid $29,000 to put the set together, which is, way too much. So I've made some mistakes, and for some of you that sort of know me a little bit better than some of the other guys that we talk on a daily basis and all that sort of stuff in Discord, I'm not a big seller really. I've only started really selling in the last maybe 3-4 days. I've got enough of a balance there of moments that I can really sell as much as I want to if I just have to go hard, because this volume that's in the game now will allow anyone to sell anything. You just have to price it below market, or below, like using the mint and that sort of stuff. It'll sell. Literally, this morning I was just selling, like, I'd list something, I'd whack it maybe 10-15% below market, and it'd sell within a minute. So it's just unbelievable. So the mistake I made was that I had the means to do it. I just sat on my hands and didn't do it. I.e., selling enough stuff to fund buying Anthony Davis at $4,200. Instead, I paid $7,500. Brendan Ingram, I was talking to people going, I don't want to pay $5,000 for Brendan Ingram. He's like maybe three at best. I was contemplating probably buying him at like high $3,000. So I ended up paying 7.5, as you do. Being an idiot, that's what idiots do. So you could see when I started keeping track of these on the 10th, you could have had the whole set for 19 grand, and that's what I'm referring to when I say, Anthony Davis was in the 4s, Brendan Ingram was in the 2s, whatever. So a couple of days later, didn't really change. So literally 3 or 4 days later, it went from 90 to 20, which is great. Then to 25, and that's when the whole thing, Gary V, Josh Hart, everyone came out of the woodwork to crash my party. But by then I already had bought everything anyway, so that's fine. So now we're at 45,000 floor. I'm going, shit, like, is Trae really worth that much? So one thing, I don't know, 45,000 is a lot of money. Either I sell everything or I just keep it and play it out, see what happens. What can I buy for $45,000 within the game? I mean, I can't cash anything out. I've put a withdrawal for $2,500. It's like, big deal. They really need to look at that end of because I literally spoke to someone today that has $900,000 in Dapper credits, and his balance, he's not even in the top probably 50 of account holders, but he's got most of it sitting in, or probably about 40% of it, I think he said, sitting in Dapper credits. I'm going, are you sure it's not $900? He goes, no. He showed me the balance. He showed me the screenshot. One of my really, really early friends that we used to hang out, and he's got his own couple of things going on, so congrats to him. So what I've got to do with my set, and that's what I learned. So lesson one was, look, if you're going to go hard, go early. If you can sell the stuff to fund it, just go hard, because the prices, we know this, the prices rise with challenge, as challenges can't start coming to close, and they'll dump afterwards. So you have to have conviction in this. You either do it as early as you can. On the back of that, the other thing that stuffed up, not too badly, but I stuffed it up, was down when I often try to downgrade. So if I get in early enough, I'll buy the low mints. So like, for example, Gordon Hayward, while it says 88 here, I actually own number 19, and I paid, I don't know what I paid. Say I paid $4,000 for it. No, actually, say I paid $3,000 for it. So as the prices rose, that one being 19 was quite valuable. So that one I sold for $3,300. I sold, and I thought, okay, well, I listed it for that price, but going back a while. So and I do this quite often, buy early, buy the low mint, and then as it matures over time through that challenge period, look to offload that lower mint for a higher mint, and you might make maybe a quarter of your money back just on that particular moment there. So that's just basically, I call downgrading the mint. In this case, I had listed it and I didn't watch the market, and the market really shot up, and I ended up selling for $3,300, and I ended up, as you can see here, buying number 88, which I was quite lucky to get because it's 88. Symbolic and numerology and Chinese lucky number. So I paid $4,000 for it. So that was just luck that I got that. It was just listed at the right time, and I went, yep, I'm getting that. The next best floor, whatever you want to call it, well, the floor was $3,500. So actually it cost me, the 5% and all that sort of stuff. So probably cost me $400 or thereabouts. So that was a mistake. So the thing there is, if you're going to play that sort of game in this market where it's just seesaw and just this hyper volume bringing prices up, I should say, you've got to watch it. So I did that with Drummond, and I did that with Hayward. With Drummond, I sold it for $2,200, bought it back for about $1,900. So I made $300 in exchange there, but the mint's much lower. What does it say here? Mint 72, and I owned, I think, 10 or 12. So again, it's probably not worth it. And what else is? Oh, and the other thing too, in my probably previous life, now it's just too busy because I try to do this for you guys and other things in Discord. In my previous life, what I would have done was get in early, buy the low mints, and also what I do then is just track it along and then be active on Discord and try to rent those same moments out. So, for example, if I could go out and rent Gordon Hayward now for, say, 20% of the price, if I could pay someone $600 to rent it out, I'd do it any day of the week, because what I could do then is go to market and sell Gordon Hayward, that number 88, maybe for even more than $4,000. But so, that's how you try to play the numbers, and obviously then reinvest that money. In my case with this Holo set, I'm actually trying to put them together and just have them, for a very long time. Part of my consolidation strategy, to an extent, because then you look at the price and go, man, 45,000 is a lot. They're going to dump afterwards. Now, the only thing I'm going to figure out, really, and that's something I don't know where to look. I know it's on Crypto Slam, but I've seen guys post screenshots of ownership. So, set completion and owners, like how many owners have completed the full set of 9, how many have 8, how many have 7. So, I've got to look at that, right? Because what my trade-off here is, the total price has gone to 45, which means it's going to lock out a lot of people that are completing these things, which is good because, selfishly, it's good because I already own one. If it's really expensive, not many people can complete it. So if it comes to, maybe a 30 mint size, 40, it's pretty good. So that would be quite valuable. So what that means is, and most likely I'm inclined to keep it because I've, gone the hard yards. I've paid 28 for it. It'll dump afterwards, probably down to like 19. So the exchange might be 10. But if there's only 30 of them, might be worth that. And if you're lucky, which is really the lucky door prize that we're all playing for, is the mint. If there's 30 of them, well, you're already pretty low. If you can get below 10, if you can get single digits, then yeah, there's some good value there. Probably in the $20,000 to $30,000 range at some point in time. So that's what I just wanted to tell you guys. I did stuff up on a couple of things there, mainly because lack of time and just lack of being able to keep on top of everything. And then I just had to whale in and just buy it for $7,500 each. So literally 2 of those moments for most of that price. But that is what it is. So look, I didn't want to keep you guys too long. It is 12:20 already, midnight here, past midnight. I have got a couple of things to give away. Shouldn't take too long to do that either. I did have a few Twitter questions to go through. I did want to touch on a couple. I answered most of them in here. There was some really good questions in here too. Thanks for submitting all those. So this one here from Good Toxic Ferret 214. Where do you think the value in the marketplace is right now? Has the rookie spike already happened? Are people undervaluing season 1 rookie moments? So that was submitted on the 19th, which is maybe a day or so ago. Assuming the date, he didn't see the massive spike up in rookie prices. Like, Melo's now is at 3,300. My call when he was about 200 odd was $2,000, and I got that, so I sold all my stuff, and I bought other stuff. So my account went from being worth something to being worth almost double, and we're talking 7 figures. So that doesn't happen unless you start strategizing like that and trying to get out at the top of some of those things. And not saying that Melo's at the top or any of the other rookies, but for me it was them buying guys like Gordon Hayward at $15 or John Wall at up to 20, 30, 40, whatever it is. So my price appreciation went like 3 or 4x compared to if I kept Melo, went maybe 2x, not even that really. I think I sold some at 13, 1400, and so yeah, 2x basically. That's not right, 2 and a bit x. But so you get the point though. It's much more work to do what I do in terms of buying hundreds of moments of some guy. I do also buy low mint too, so to protect myself a little bit there and down in the future. But to answer this guy's question, I sort of keep going all over the place. But where I see value, look, honestly, where some of the prices are in season 2 now, if you look at back to season 1, there's a little bit of value there on guys, like I mentioned, Aaron Gordon, JaVale, for reasons too. But if you can get a season 1 moment for like $20, $24, I mean, regardless of who it is, I think it'll do okay. that's probably more your investment stuff where you want to maybe just park you made your freaking 10x, maybe take the 2x and park it in some of that investor stock, some of that museum piece, because that'll hold that value. Again, where's that $24 moment from season 1 going to go? Really, like it's only going to go up, unless everything crashes, which is, I don't think that'll happen. Not even close. So that's what I'd probably do. I have done that. I've gone back to season 1 and just bought up quite a few of those, really crappy players that no one really cares for. For me, just really to hold for the long term. The value that I see also is in season 2 moments that have, I called this a couple of days ago again, investing at that 15,000 mark and just going hard. Like, when I was talking about it, Luka was like $40, I think. LeBron, that's the one I really focused on. Again, I didn't buy a lot of any of these because I didn't sell a lot to be able to buy a lot. But now I'm focusing on selling as much as I can, to be honest, and buying up where I see value. So LeBron was 150, the 3-point shot. I think it's multiples of that now. Bought a couple of him and guys like that. John Wall, again, I'm big on. Gordon Hayward, I'm big on because that's their rookie moments. So just finding those layers of added value, guys, and just playing that scarcity game. We're talking about scarcity of 12, 15,000. It is relative scarcity because you saw, the team has opened up now to mint size 50,000. So, it's in the search box, that search function. I think Ryan from our Discord pointed that out on Twitter, that they've opened it up now to up to 50,000. So again, like going back in time when people used to complain about 4,000 mint, people are complaining now probably, well, what are we going to do with 30,000? But you got to look beyond. You got to look a little bit beyond, because those moments will be priced as 30,000 there. They'll be priced at $2, $4, $12 for LeBron or whatever it is. Maybe more than that, but you get the point. So that's where I see value. So keep an eye on the next pack releases and keep an eye on where those mints fall, and then just buy like crazy. Because if I have my bearings right, I'm beyond that point of calling this ridiculous growth and stupid growth. Now it's legitimate. Now it's, mainstream, or peaking at mainstream, where you've got the NBA players who have millions and millions and millions of fans. And it's not like a Gary Vee where he's got the flippers, he's got those guys that'll be in and out and leave you type thing. Now you've got the NBA fans legitimizing this space and calling it cool, and I want to be in this. That's the one. That's what we want. So this is where it becomes real, and it's going to stay there for a while. Just keep an eye on some of those Josh Hart types and what they have to say and what they sort of bring in. Look, there was probably a couple questions. Excuse me there. I wanted to touch on. There was a guy that asked, why did I buy Jacob Poeltl 3rd of January, I think, for $393. That's not a real transaction. It's again, I've spoken about this a million times. It's probably something that I've purchased. It might have been a moment that was valued at $600, and I've convinced someone to buy it for $393 or whatever. It might have been just $380 plus the 5%. And we'll just literally use a cheap moment to enable the transaction, because if that moment was listed on the market at $393, even in January, it might have been picked off quite quickly. So that's all it is. It's just a fake transaction. It's real, but it's done on Marketplace. So, all right, let's blitz through this giveaway. So, I asked you guys to retweet that message, and I thought it was 100. It reads as 102 retweets. But when you go through all the retweets, it actually adds to about, 83. That's what I've added when I closed it off. So, look, to the guys that may have missed out, I've double and triple checked it, and this took like an hour to do. So I've got to figure out a better system. But, so what we're giving away for this, it's coming out of my account, are these 10 moments. So, when I said to you guys on Twitter to take a vote if you wanted 1 moment for 1,000 or 10 for 100, basically everyone wanted, they want a chance at it, so they want 10. Then they were, when I was buying them or when I had them, there were 100 each, or there, 94 to 102. You could see what the market's done, to some of them. Now they're 200. Steph Curry's at 200. So, hopefully you guys get some of these. So let's have a quick look, see. So let's make a note of those. Good luck, everyone. So all 83 of you. So there's a good, chance someone's going to get something decent out of here. So let's shuffle a couple of times. And the first one's going to be Lonzo Ball Season 1 base valued at $150. So I believe that's his rookie moment in the thing. So good luck. So here we go. First winner is, there we go. So Daryl AHC, congratulations, sir. You won Alonzo Ball. Okay, so we will remove Daryl so he can't have another go. And the next one is, we might mix this up. We'll do the Steph Curry one. There's 3 to give away. Okay, congratulations. Kim Wonsil? Or Kim Wonsils? One of those. It'll do. Okay, Grats, Kimmy. Okay, remove. Thank you for playing. Let's do Zion base 1. Pay at $100. And the winner is James 029819. That's most likely his password, guys. Alright. Remove him out of there. Okay, so next one we'll do Trae Young, Season 2 to $7,500. So this is valued at about $145. And the winner is Civil Lobo. Oh, where's my mouse cursor going? Here we go. So make a note of that. Thank you very much. Remove. Let's do another Steph Curry. Season 2 to $15,000, valued at $196. Krell Limited Edition. Yes, you are, my good man or woman. And removed. Okay, let's do the other Trae Young Season 2 to $7,500. While I fix this up on the other screen, what do we got? Kevin Early, 27. All right, congratulations, sir. Okay, remove. What do we got left? Let's go do a Derrick Rose Season 1 base, valued at $149. Tell him what he's won, Jerry. He's won a no Coso Dope, whatever that means. All right, so you've got the Derrick Rose Season 1. That's a pretty cool moment. All right, let's do the other Steph Curry now, the last one, $196 worth. And PS Top. I'm probably butchering the crap out of these names, but I don't think they care. All right, so we've got one Zion left and Jerami, how do you pronounce it? Grant Season 1. So the Grant one's worth, so we'll do the Grant one first now. It's $185. That's the second most valuable moment in here. King Jones, 77. Congratulations. And last, but lucky last, I should say, Zion base. So let's have a look if we can get one of the Discord peeps in here. MJod0823. And that, my friends, concludes the retweet, like, share, whatever. I just basically went retweet. I couldn't be bothered to check in if you guys ended up. So they're the winners. I will put something out. They'll have to watch the video to figure out who's won what. If they don't contact me for a little while, I'll probably just keep them, regift them again, or redraw them. Okay, so that concludes the Twitter competition. So that was pretty good. I gave away about $1,600, which is more than fine, even though they've gone up. As you guys have seen, I've given up so much crap now. That's what I enjoy. I mean, I don't mind sharing love. Made a bit of money out of this, so it's all good. So these are the Twitter comments from my last video, and if Graham won this one, I'd be pretty impressed. So he didn't win this time. So that's the gentleman or lady that's won that one. I'd say it's a gentleman. Etasaf Yahya. Hope they haven't done it too much of a disservice pronouncing that name. But that's it. So let's remove that one and see how many times we need Goran to have a go at this to win the damn thing. He's over here, way off. Anyway, I'm not going to go make you sit through that. I hope you guys have enjoyed that. There's a little bit of, I think, good information in there. Just if you do a bit of research about sort of next sort of growth levels and then which way you can make a little bit of money out of this fun game of ours. And look, until next time, say good day on Twitter or comment section in YouTube, whatever it is. We've got about 19 spaces left on Discord, so that's pretty much reserved for a couple of people like Gary V, if they come around, Josh Hart. We've sent out a couple of invites. I had a couple of friends, I think, well, apparently they're friends of his, so they reached out and they said, oh, do you want to connect with him? And I said, yes I do. Where do I meet him? So we'll see what comes out of all of that. But yeah, trade well, friends, and see you around.